Hello, my name is Carlos, and what I'm going to do today is to take this seedling. As you could see, it's a very nice seedling. It's about 12 to 15 months old, and I'm going to take it and graft a piece from a Catalina tree that I have here to send to a friend of mine, Danielle, that is asking me for a Catalina tree. Now, it is an unusual time of the year. I don't normally graft at the end of October, where we are now. I usually wait until January or February. But I want to try a certain thing with this particular tree. I have here the piece of the I have here a piece of the Catalina budwood, and I am also showing you a close-up of it. There are some leaves here already in the scion wood coming out, so we will not be able to wrap this in. We will not be able to wrap this up in parafilm, because my experience is that if I do wrap these small leaves that are flushing out with parafilm, I get into trouble. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to graft it the regular way and then put a bag over this whole graft to keep the humidity. Why? Because weather is changing in South Florida and the weather is really dry and sunny, and I think I need some humidity so these leaves here that are flushing out will not dry. I have done this before, and if I remember correctly, sometimes they take, sometimes they don't take, but if they take, these leaves that are flushing will continue to flush right away. And this period of time that you are kind of waiting for budwood to do something, if it takes it, it's going to keep pushing, and if it doesn't take, it's going to wilt and die pretty soon. So we're going to try. Now, the other decision that I have to make on this case is what type of graft do I do here? This is thick budwood, and this tree, this rootstock, is also very thick. But I think I'm going to go with a veneer graft somewhere in here on the low part of it. And we are going to do that by removing all these leaves. And I'm going to get the camera close to you so you could see how it's done. So since we decided to go with veneer graft, we are going to first make the cut here. I like to make like a wedge to hold the budwood here. Sometimes with these old seedlings it's a little bit harder. It's not as good as, it's not as simple as it is with softer wood. And then we're going to see if we could take a nice piece here. It's very hard. The seedling is very hard. There we go. Now we are going to cut fit it more or less, and I think I'm gonna cut it here downwards. There you go. Then I like to put a little wedge here for support. Okay. Come. Make sure I have a good fit, and I think I do. Yep. You see how this wedge supports the graft. put the tape right behind and bring it down. Now we need to cut this to so it will not be that long, just to about here. And what we are going to do now, because of what I explained before of the humidity, I'm going to put a bag over, plastic bag over with some pebbles here to keep the humidity high. So hopefully these leaves that are taking place here, are growing here in the budwood, will not dry up. Now we come with the plastic. We put the plastic over, and we put some rocks here to keep it steady in there, and then we water it regularly, keep it moist, and this plastic bag will create a greenhouse effect, and hopefully this will not stop growing. We'll continue to monitor this over the next few days to see how it does. It's beginning to look like problems 23 days post-graft. The new leaves that were pushing out are all dead, have fallen off, and the graft looks like it may not survive, although it looks very green. So we'll cover it again and we'll wait a few more weeks. I unwrapped, well, first of all, this was done on October 29. It is now December 5th, so about 5 weeks have gone by. I saw all the leaves that were coming out here. They died just about this little tip. It's maybe alive, but not in great condition. There seems to be some fusion. Okay, but my hope now is that these buds that I have here in the scionwood are going to take off and start growing. So far there was no advantage at grafting with budwood flushing out a bit. That has always been my theory. Another problem could be the time of the year. It's winter now in South Florida. Trees begin to shut down a bit, although this tree I had to clean a lot on top because it keeps growing, keeps trying to come back. This is a Catalina seedling, which is very strong. So at this point, the only thing we have to do is wait and give it a few more days. This is encouraging. These are alive, so I think these are going to take off. We shall see. So it all is not lost. Finally, we are taking another look at this avocado tree that we started grafting in October 29, 2012. It's taken a long time for this seedling to take off. The graft was always green, so the graft had fused with the rootstock. But apparently this experiment, where we were trying to prove that we could graft at the end of October with leaves coming out of the scionwood, was going to work. In actuality, it did not work. These are new leaves. All the leaves in the scionwood wilted. Only a little piece on the tip remained green. And finally, we are now in January 18, and it finally seems to be taking off. So conclusion is that at least in South Florida, it is not worth to graft in October and November. You might as well wait until February and January. Why? Because you don't save anything, unless you could be grafting now today with this weather, wonderful weather that we are having. In 5, 10, 15, 20 days, your budwood could be breaking parafilm. So all this time that we had to wait, basically 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks that we waited, we didn't save anything. We could have grafted this today. However, if you have a piece of boardwood in November and you in October and you need to graft it, well, as you can see, it stays alive, and as soon as the weather begins to warm up, it'll start to shoot up new leaves like this one it's doing. I think what happens is at the end of October, November, all these trees, the avocado trees especially, are going into a dormant phase, and there is not much activity, and it's very hard to keep this alive. We had to put plastic, as you remember seeing, all kinds of things, but we kept it alive. So if you have to do it, it can be done. Finally, we are at the end stage. It has taken a long time, from October 29 to today, February 13, to get this tree ready. As you can see, a lot of growth has taken place. It's very nice, green, growing very strong. Now what we need to do is cut the rootstock, and we'll put some dressing there, and we are ready to let this tree grow to its full potential. It has been a difficult process. A lot of things that we thought were going to work did not work. We made changes along the way, and we were able to save the graft, and at the same time learn how sometimes you have to change things along the way in order to save your graft. So this is done, ready. Now we're going to cut it and get it ready to move on. There we go, and I always keep some black tar with a little water to keep it nice and soft, to put a little dressing in here to help this thing heal really well. Now this tree is ready to go. We have learned a lot of things from it. We've learned that if we have to, we could graft early, out of season, but we could do enough things to make it work. We also learned that if we don't have to, it doesn't make any sense to graft at that time of the year, October, November. It's better to wait until January, February, and March comes around. I hope this video has been of use to you. I have learned a lot doing it. I've learned, for example, that unless I absolutely have to, there is no need to graft in October, November. I've done it in the past, so right now what I've done with this is documented. So have a good time. I hope you enjoyed my videos, and go on grafting.